Today we're going to take a deep dive on the EVGA RTX 3060 Ti XC. This is a dual fan card, 8GB card. It came out in 2020, and I'm going to fully take it apart, deep clean it. We're going to repaste it. We're going to get new thermal pads on there as well. We're going to see if we can lower the temps and extend the life of this card. And yeah, let's jump into it. So the first step is to remove all 10 screws from the back of the card. Next, there's a hex nut that we have to remove that's holding on the I/O plate, so we'll go ahead and do that. There are 4 smaller screws right next to the display port and HDMI port, so we'll go ahead and remove those, and that should allow us to remove the I/O bracket. So there are 2 fans on this card, and there are 3 screws each, so if you rotate the blades a little bit, you'll see those screws. They're really small. So just take those out. And then there are 4 screws holding on the plastic shroud. So once the fans are loose, you should be able to take the 4 screws out of the shroud and kind of move the fans out of the way a little bit, get that off, and then we can move on to next steps. So now that we have all those screws out of the way, we can go ahead and separate the heatsink from the card itself. So the thermal pads are probably going to be pretty sticky, and it's going to be stuck on there pretty good. So just take your time, pry it apart slowly, and then you can crack that open and get to the actual card itself. And we'll go ahead and disconnect the fan connectors as well, and then we can start the cleaning process. So the next step is to remove the thermal pads and the old thermal paste. So we'll start with the thermal pads, and I like to take a lot of pictures during this process just to make sure that I get everything right when I put it all back together, and also to lay them out so I can try to find the exact same size and replace it with the same thickness, just so I don't have any issues. So next up, I just want to remove any factory residue from the thermal paste and thermal pads. So I'm just scraping it off and then using an alcohol wipe to rub everything down. And then after that, I'm going to use 99% isopropyl alcohol with a toothbrush to really give it a scrub down. And we're still going to take it outside and use our favorite WD-40 specialty cleaner. But just to help ourselves a little bit, we're going to go ahead and do this stuff inside to get the big chunks gone, and then we'll move on from there. And here I'm just using an alcohol wipe to wipe down the fan blades one by one, and this is kind of where a lot of the dust likes to hide and kind of get built up over time. So this is definitely a step you do not want to skip, and we'll go ahead and get these wiped down, then we'll move on to the next step. Next up, I'm just using a hose to clean the heatsink, the backplate, the I/O shield, and the plastic shroud. And once that's done, I'm using a blower to get rid of the excess water. And then I'm using WD-40 electronic contact cleaner for the fans and the PCB itself. And then once everything is cleaned up, we can get it all back inside and start the reassembly process. I'm starting by rerouting the fans on the heatsink, and it took me a second to remember exactly how to do this. That's why I recommend taking pictures. But once I was able to get that done, we moved on to getting the plastic shroud in place on the heatsink and screw everything back in, and then we can move on from there. Next up, we're going to replace the thermal pads. And what I'm doing here is just holding up the old ones to the new ones and trying to compare the size to make sure that I get as close as I possibly can. And I recommend picking up a kit like this from Amazon so you have different sizes to work with. And really just take your time. I try to cut them to the exact same shape if possible. And as long as you put the thermal pads where they originally were from the factory, you should be good to go. And if you do run into any issues like I do later in this video, I'll show you what to do there. But yeah, we'll just do this and move on to the next step. We also have to apply new thermal paste on the GPU die itself. So right here I'm using KPX. So now that we have our thermal pads and thermal paste in place and everything is cleaned up, we're going to get the heatsink back on the card and make sure that you have your orientation correct so you can plug your fans back in. But basically what I'm doing right here is just kind of doing a test fit to make sure that everything lines up, to make sure I'm getting good connection between the heatsink and the GPU die itself. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get this back together and then we'll test it and make sure it's good to go. And once you have it all lined up, I'm going to go ahead and put these 4 screws back in just to hold the heatsink to the card. And when you're putting in these screws, you want to screw them in an X pattern and apply equal pressure all the way around until they're all the way screwed in. And that will make sure that you have a good connection between the heatsink and the GPU itself. And there's this one small section on the back plate where you do need some thermal pads, so make sure you don't miss those. And that goes right in the middle of the back plate, so we'll get those in place. And we'll go ahead and get that screwed back on. We'll go ahead and get the I/O plate reinstalled as well. And then once we have everything screwed back in, we are good to test the card and see if it's going to work. So right here, I'm just looking for any gaps between the thermal pads and the GPU or the heatsink, just to make sure that everything is lined up. And it looks good, so we'll go ahead and get it on the test bench and check it out. All right, so we've got it back on the test bench and the temps are higher. So what's going on? Well, unfortunately, I used thermal pads that were too thick. So I've got to take the card back apart and I'm gonna use thermal pads that are a lot smaller. And basically what this allows it to do is have a better connection between the GPU die and the heatsink. And that will allow the temperatures to actually be lower, but first we gotta get those swapped out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. We'll get it all put back together again. We'll just test it one more time to make sure it's good and we'll go from there. And here's a look at the old temps. And here's a look at the new temps. So not a huge drop or anything, but definitely gives you peace of mind that you have new thermal paste, new thermal pads, everything is cleaned up, and this card is basically ready to go. And before I get out of here, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has watched and subscribed and all the kind words on my last video. And I really do appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks again.